So in the last session that we had, we went over the structure of a neuron. We discussed the fact that if you were to damage a neuron, it's not going to grow back. We talked about how we have motor neurons, which help movement. We talked about the types of neurons, and now we're going to move forward here, and we're going to be discussing basically the difference between the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So with the central nervous system, make sure you guys get this bullet point down. The nervous system consists of two major divisions, and they are the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is the control center of the body. It includes the brain and the spinal cord. And remember what we talked about the last session we had. If you damage neurons in the brain or the spinal cord, there's no coming back from that. They don't regenerate. The last one, I believe, for this slide is peripheral nervous system. This includes all the other parts of the nervous system. Is there anybody today taking notes only from the screen? Okay. Once you get the last part down, wave at me, okay? So on this next slide, I want to discuss the parts of the brain. All right. So in your brain, you have something or a section of the brain called the cerebrium. Cerebrium. The cerebrium consists of several specialized regions that receive messages from the sense organs and control movement, memory, communication, and reasoning. Now, when we talked last time about my confusion with Alzheimer's and dementia, this portion of the brain is what affects a lot when it comes to dementia, when you have elderly people that are not able to remember things well. This is where that area of the brain controls the memory, communication. So if you had a stroke, for example, and damaged neurons there, it may be hard for you to talk. It may be hard for you to reason and understand or remember things. The next part we'll look at, this one is pronounced cerebellum. Your cerebellum coordinates your body's movements and helps you keep your balance. So if you guys have ever been on one of those rides at the fair that goes around and around and around and spins you and you become dizzy, that part of your brain is why that happens. Your cerebellum helps you with what we call your equilibrium. That controls your balance. That's that section of the brain. And the last one I believe on this slide is the brain stem. The brain stem consists of three structures: the midbrain, the pons, the medulla. Midbrain, pons, and medulla. These structures control many of your body's involuntary actions. So the way that you can digest food when you're sleeping and you're not doing it by force or by choice, your body is doing it automatically. That's controlled in your brain stem. The way that your heart is continuing to beat, or what regulates your body temperature, all of that's happening without your control over it. That's in the brain stem. You ready? Okay. Does anybody need more time with this one? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next slide. The next one, I really just want you to really see the diagram. So it's color coded so you guys can see the portions well. Sana, can you turn one light off so we can see on the big screen a little better? Oh, my bad. Thank you. So the cerebellum is the largest part. Excuse me, I said that wrong. The cerebrium is the largest part that's in pink. The cerebellum is in its orangish color. And the brainstem is in this blue area that contains the 3 levels of midbrain, pons, and medulla. I'm going to skip about 3 slides, and I'm going to the slide that says spinal cord. So the spinal cord is a thick column of nerve tissue that links the brain to most of the nerves in the peripheral nervous system. We'll get to what the peripheral nervous system is in a moment. Your spinal cord extends from the brain down the back. Sorry about that. The spinal nerves are part of the peripheral nervous system. Thank you, sir. So on this next slide, we're going to be talking about reflexes. Reflexes is an automatic response to your environment. That's called a reflex, an automatic response. In some reflex actions, the skeletal muscles are controlled by the spinal cord only, not the brain. All right? So if you were to burn yourself on the stove or when you're ironing, that message does not go all the way up to your brain and then you make a conscious decision to move. It says reflexes help protect your body from harm because they enable you to react quickly. The longer that burn is happening in that situation, the more damage is going to be done. So your body is made up in a way that reflex happens so fast that message does not get processed in your brain. Your spinal cord is where that message is going to and traveling back and saying, get your hand off of that as quick as possible. Reflexes. Good. All right, the next one we're going to skip. It just shows you a diagram of how the reflexes work. It doesn't go all the way up to your brain. This next one we're going to look at is your peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is connected to your central nervous system. They're not the exact same, but they all play a part in helping your body make good decisions to keep you healthy. The peripheral nervous system includes the network of nerves that link the rest of your body to your brain and spinal cord. Here's how I want you to think about it. To help you remember where your peripheral nerves are, think of it this way. The nerves that extend from your spinal cord out to the rest of your body is your peripheral nervous system, okay? So the central nervous system is your brain and your spine right in the center of your body. All the rest of the nerves that extend from your back, from your spine out to the rest of your body, that is the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system carries information to the central nervous system and then carries responses from the central nervous system to the rest of the body. And we have to stop right here because we've reached